Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today, guys, we're going to be jumping down into the world of Vechain, taking a look at the most recent price action for the VET token and what I think is likely to happen next. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. I do appreciate that. If you are new to the channel, then why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all the notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. And if you haven't yet joined us in Discord, what are you waiting for? Check it out. Link is down in the description below. It's a fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there. So why not go ahead and check it out? Let's jump right down into today's video. And kicking things off with the 1 hour time frames. Here we have Vechain's VET token paired up with USDT using the 1 hour Binance chart. Now, we were expecting a move down towards 1.551 to 1.581. However, this appeared to truncate and fall a little short of this as Bitcoin had its kind of fake news scenario pushing it upwards, dragging those altcoins out of the structure. So we can see here that the C wave did finish down a little bit lower. It did come down lower than the A wave, so minimum expectations were already met. We'll go ahead and just adjust this out. Now, this doesn't necessarily distract us from our bigger C wave pattern. It just completes the first A wave or Y wave, W wave even. So here we have the W. This will become our X, and we're still looking for this move to the downside, right? We can kind of see this right here. Okay, it's not that we've kind of broken out of this bigger move just yet. Okay, that would be a breakout situation at 1.773 cents. Okay, so we haven't done that. So coming back in, we can see that we had that bounce upwards. We fell back down. We've come down lower than the C wave or the W wave over this side, which means minimum expectations on our Y wave have already been met. We started to see this bit of a push back to the upside. Again, looking at the structure on this, it looks pretty impulsive at points, but I don't think it meets the requirements. We're going to go do the sense checks on that. Just eyeballing it doesn't quite look right, but we'll see if it is meeting those requirements or not, and I'm going to have to pop it here. So if we had a diagonal at the beginning, then we had this move upwards. Actually, it does, yeah. So it does meet those expectations. We get the overextension in the fifth wave movement, and it is right in the target range. So it looks like we're about to top out right here at the 1.688 to 0.01702. So that's going to be the upper area of resistance. Let me show you what this looks like. And yeah, for the most part, that's okay. It is a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what does this mean? Well, it means that we're probably going to have to see a correction down and another 5-wave move to the upside. Failing that, it's a running flat correction to the upside here. So that's the other option, as it could be. It could be a running flat. Running flat would essentially be a WXY like this. Basically, the X wave comes down lower than the we use the ABCs. It's easier for me to explain on the ABC structure. So if you have an A wave coming up, the B wave coming down, and the C wave going up there, the B wave comes down lower than the origin of the A wave, and the C wave stops short of going up to the A wave or exceeding the A wave high. Okay, so on this particular scenario, that's that as an option. It actually makes an interesting one if it is a running flat correction. If it isn't a running flat correction, we would look for a zigzag pattern in here. That essentially would have to be an A wave up, a B wave down, and an A wave up, and we would look to kind of keep it below the swing high, which would be at 1.739. I prefer the running flat situation, but both of these options are viable. Now, as we start thinking about this move to the downside, we'll be looking for the Y wave movement. Where's the Y wave movement likely to go? Well, we can go ahead and take a look at that on our hourly chart here, and that would put us right down here between 1.534 and 1.571. So that's going to be right down in this little sweet spot here, which will be basically coming in with the previous area of support as well. Okay, so that's everything on the 1 hour. Let's take this out into the daily. The daily is into its Z wave already, and I still think we've got to come back down a little bit deeper. The Z wave is between 1.118, yep, and the high of 1.548. Okay, so we can see here this yellow box area. We tapped into it a couple of times already. I still think we're likely to come down a little bit further. You can see my big concern here is that we have a diagonal pattern forming on the larger time frame of the daily chart, and we'll be looking for a big break. I still think we are likely to be pushing into the lower range of this, into a new bear market low, lower than 1.318. Okay, so basically what I'm saying here is we're looking for an ABC structure, right? And I think this C wave structure is going to be a 5-wave movement with diagonal here. So I'm expecting us to kind of have something to this effect, really drag us down deeper, more closer to 1.1 than the 1.3 range. Okay, so it'll be interesting to kind of see how it plays out, but those are my expectations on the daily time frame. We're still bearish on our structures. Smart money concepts is still bearish. It hasn't changed. We're fighting the 50 EMA and the 50 SMA. That is the red and yellow lines that you can kind of see just bouncing around here a little bit. And we are below the 200 EMA as well. So for the most part, nothing much more going on there. Stochastic RSI is overbought on the 8-hour, 4-hour, 1-hour, and a rising here on the daily. So my expectations are that we move on down quite aggressively over the next couple of weeks into months and so forth. So take it out into the weekly, and you can see a slightly more bearish pattern playing out. Still bearish below the weekly 50 SMA, below the weekly 50 EMA, and below the 200 EMA. So all trend filters are basically telling us that we should be bearish on the market. We can see the stochastic RSI is heavily overbought on the 8, 4, and 1 hour with a rising 1 day, of course. And the weekly, well, that's high up here as well. Not overbought, but is right up into the previous area where it was. And it's looking pretty bad in my opinion. We can see here that we're coming up to resistance here, so rejection could be just around the corner. I was hoping that we'd go up a little bit further towards 2.219 before kind of, we're pulling back down again. I still think it's a possibility that we have that run, but it's not looking strong right now. So my expectations are that we're probably going to be looking at breaking back down. Now, this is slightly more bearish than the daily. The weekly shows us with a potential of breaking the 1 cent low and going down less than a cent to 0.008 on the worst side of things. I don't think that's going to be the case, but it's good to keep a close eye on these things, because if it does, then this is going to be the area where I think we're going to find a maximum amount of value in the future. So I think there's a lot playing for Vechain, a lot of sort of negativity in terms of price action at the moment, but nonetheless, I think from a fundamental standpoint, it has never been stronger. If you're looking for more details on the fundamental side and analysis, why not check out the interviews that we've done recently with Vechain's team and developers and all that on the channel. Join us down in Discord and we can discuss things further down there. But I'm going to leave the video right there. If you found it useful and informative, smash the like button. I do appreciate that. If you're new, subscribe. If you haven't joined us in Discord, check it out. Link below. Until the next one, have a fantastic day.